Turn the music up and let it bang. When we hit the lane, you got to get it out the way. When we going in, we be going all day. And we ain't coming out until we get our victory.
Wait a minute, yo.
A good look from overhead at the PA Center here on the beautiful campus of Marian University, just northwest of downtown Indianapolis. Soon we'll be inside of the PE Center for one of many outstanding matchups this season here for Marian University Volleyball. Two of the best teams in this always loaded conference, Mount Vernon Nazarene and the Marian Knights. Both teams went undefeated in non-league play. Marian 8-2 in kind of their first trip through the double round robin 18-match league. While that's a couple of more losses than, say, the last couple of years, they do find themselves atop the Crossroads League headed into this match. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll have starting lineups and first serve as you're watching on ISC and Comcast 81.
Getting 30% off any Donato's pizza during Peace and Love Days is kind of a big deal. It's a huge deal, actually. Get 30% off any pizza during Donato's Peace and Love Days when you order online. If you dig a great deal, dig into a pizza before this deal is over in just a few days. Order online today using promo code LOVE. Donato's. Every piece is important.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Lineups are being introduced between Mount Vernon Nazarene and Marian. Let's turn it over to the public address voice of the Marian Knights. Here's Mark Erdosi.
Number 11, Erica Gosser. Senior setter. Number 12, Paige Brenner. A sophomore middle hitter. Number 17, Abby Nemish. The libero for the Cougars is a senior. Number 2, Molly Golofshevsky. The Cougars head coach in her third season, Kendra Mosher. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for the Mount Vernon Nazarene University Cougars.
So Mount Vernon Nazarene awaiting the video that you saw to open the broadcast that is playing now here inside of the PE Center. Introducing the Marian University Knights, 3 years removed from winning the NAIA Women's Volleyball Championship. Their head coach of that era, Ashley Pritchard, left at the end of last season to take the job at Indiana State. Riley Anderson, the interim head coach. Once again, let's go to Mark Erdosi.
And now the starting lineup for your Marian University Knights. A 5'10" senior middle hitter from Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 1, Jalen Norwood. 5'11" junior outside from Fishers, Indiana. Number 4, Grace Hunter. 6' senior outside from Muncie, Indiana. Number 7, Skylar Benoit. 5'11" sophomore middle hitter from Louisville, Kentucky. Number 11, Jamison Summers. 5'8" freshman defensive specialist from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 12, Emma Lyons. 5'8" sophomore center from Garrett, Indiana. Number 15, Logan Smith. The Knights liberos, a junior from Grafton, Wisconsin, wearing number 18, Gianna Bell. The Knights' interim head coach is Riley Anderson, assisted by Diego Gutierrez, Cato Spangler, and the student manager, Lauren Brameyer. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for your Marian University Knights.
Mark Cardosi, thank you very much. Let's now welcome my broadcast partner, the 8-time state championship coach at Cathedral High School, and these days heading up the Indiana High School Volleyball Coaches Association, Gene Kesterson. Coach, it is always good to be with you, and it has been so much fun to see this Marian program on a regular basis over the course of the last 3 years, and now we'll do this more and more. We're back here in a couple of weeks. We'll see them in their conference tournament matches and hopefully an NAIA regional match as well. It's a Marian team that lost some key pieces off of last year's team,
Yes.
namely their head coach as well, and Ashley Pritchard, but they are once again awfully good here on the Northwest side.
For the injuries they've had, they had 2 key players out. They had Gabby Fish went down, season injury. Jalen Norwood was out for a while. And still, they've only lost 2 matches. That's crazy, to lose your key players. And so they must be, the coaches and the culture of the program must be doing something right.
Well, the good news is that one of those players is back tonight. That is Jalen Norwood. We'll see
seeing that
in the lineup. And there is Skylar Van Note, the super senior. She is going to obliterate most every record here at Marian University. She was in the last match, a win for Marian, but one of the many great products to come from Delaware County, Wapahani High School to be precise, in her 5th senior year, if you will. Again, she will set some almost untouchable records here because of playing 5 full years at Marian.
Well, she's got 1,700 plus career kills. That's insane. But I think the most important thing is her volleyball IQ. She can sense what the other team's doing. She knows that, like the blockers, they might be a little slow. She could almost in her head go, okay, they're playing, a little bit deeper from me. I'm going to just put it in the campfire here.
When these two teams met earlier this year, Marian won in straight sets, but they're all very competitive sets. Mount Vernon Nazarene lost either 25-21, 25-22 to see Molly Golashevsky, who is the Crossroads League Defensive Player of the Week, the libero for Mount Vernon Nazarene.
She's also the captain as well as the setter, Paige Brenner. So you have a setter and a defensive specialist as captains. You know that they're going to be a little bit scrappy and the ball's going to stay alive.
You get the idea what the team is about. Only one player taller than 5'11" on this Mount Vernon Nazarene roster. Marian tied with Taylor atop the standings in the Crossroads League. Taylor has already won the first regular season match against Marian. Indiana Wesleyan and Bethel right behind at 7-3. And then at 6-4 come Mount Vernon Nazarene as well as St. Francis. So in the top 6 spots, only 2 games separate, and there are currently 5 of those 6 teams, all but Mount Vernon Nazarene, either are receiving votes or are in the top 25 in terms of the NAIA rankings.
That's kind of how you want it. You want to play the best because if volleyball is just played at the higher level, it looks as if they're waiting for another lines person.
We have one line judge here, not the second, and so hence that is the reason for the delay. And I would imagine that
not traffic in Indianapolis.
Never, right?
Yes.
I would imagine that.
Yay! There they are.
We will. There we go. Hustling in.
And she's running to her position and getting applause. This is wonderful. Might be the only time tonight she gets applause, but it's all good. It's good.
Chad Sievers is our R1. James Urich is our R2. Susan Erickson and Mary Jo Stallings are the line judges for tonight's matchup. So now Vernon Nazarene will have the opening serve of the match. Jalen Tang to serve. Freshman from Hawaii. Big swing, but missed it. And there was not a touch there by Marian. Point to the Knights.
Nice reach into the thing. By the way, their kid from Hawaii, I asked coach if she went and recorded it. He goes, no, it was a family visit to our campus and she fell in love with it.
Those that don't follow college volleyball, Hawaii, fantastic in both men's and women's volleyball.
Yes.
Another big swing, great dig, but couldn't control it. Point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
That was just a nice swing. Hit high hands up there, and just look, rotate the shoulders a little bit more. Coach is telling her. I love the angle that we're shooting this right now. This is how coaches recruit. By the way, recruiting, if you're having your kids wanting to get looks, make sure you take the video from the end line. College coaches are looking for that.
So in the industry, we call this European style in terms of shooting from the end. We hope you enjoy it. Tang with the dig. Galashevsky will send it over on 3. Short ball. Van Noot has to swing around the overpass. Quick set, Van Noot. And that will steer long, point Marian.
Nice swing at the ball, nice healthy swing. Good rallies. We're kind of seeing, it looks like they're stacking, that Mount Vernon stacking their middles and tight to the middle. And so they ran a, kind of a combination play in the middle with Van Noot, but they're there with the block.
Katie Hardigree, who is the primary setter for Marian. They generally run a 2-setter offense. She is the junior from Brownsburg. Short ball off the block and down. Point goes to Mount Vernon, Nazarene.
Their sets are a little bit lower, I think, for Mount Vernon because of the size. So it might be some adjustment that Marian might need to use, not jump as high, just press low over the net.
Abby Nemish had the kill. Paige Brenner back to serve. She is the setter. She has over 700 assists so far on the year.
That's incredible.
Van Noot, a rare badge. When Amelia taps her chest, says, my fault. Mount Vernon jumps out to a 3-2 lead.
I think the plan for Mount Vernon is to stop Skylar. Wherever she goes, we're going to put 2 people on her. That's what I've seen so far.
Van Noot with the reception. Off the bump set, well done. You touching the volleyball IQ. There it was on display.
A nice
on point
roll
number
shot.
6. Yep.
But interesting, they're going to serve, and a lot of times the strategy is serve their best player, make her tired, pull her off the net so that you can't get a quick swing on the ball.
Avery Toole will rotate in. Freshman from Rockford, Michigan. Primarily an Indiana roster, but players from Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Washington State on this Marian lineup. Big swing, Van Noot the dig. But I think net contact was made by Marian.
Absolutely.
Hardigree was the guilty party.
So again, it looks like they're going after a Van Noot, Skylar Van Noot. Smart.
Stumperth on the serve. Hardigree sets across. Big swing, finds the floor. Point Marian, killed at Avery Toole.
It's interesting, the middle blocker, Mount Vernon, said, my bad, I didn't release quick enough. So she held with the middle blocker, but was not there.
So back to serve is Sydney Schaefer. One of 2 players that we'll see tonight for Marian that played for volleyball powerhouse Mercy in Louisville. Set across, Tang. Able to hit it around a couple of blockers. Off the block and down, point Knights.
That was good. The block looked like they were coming down just a little bit because there's a delay. She had her hand a little bit lower on the contact with the hit. So smart, again, a smart play.
Schaefer on the serve. Short ball block is there waiting in Norwood, and Mount Vernon is able to peel it. And how about that?
That's a smart play. Everyone's tight to the net. I'm just going to throw it deep corner.
Normally, we are in awe of the athleticism of Jalen Norwood. She's got the all-around game here.
Like, no. It's open. Point's a point. Doesn't matter if it's a bounce kill or if it's just finding a hole.
Multi-sport star here at Marian. Track and field athlete as well. Free ball for the night. Short ball, Norwood. That's normally how she puts it away.
Yes, and she likes that corner, hitting back to that corner.
We have a statement for radio broadcasters. Sometimes when you're the DJ, it's called the air chair.
Chair.
Jalen has a different type of air chair.
Oh, you think?
She can just sit up there and wait for the ball to find her.
She hangs. It's like a swing without the seat.
Levitates up there. Errant service reception. And in the blink of an eye, Marian's rattled off 5 consecutive points.
Correct. They had a little issue with their server. See, the ball was moving a bit, but again, just get the platform there a little bit quicker for Mount Vernon.
And this is where I will point out how we are shooting this. Watch the ball, it move as Schaefer serves it. You'll see the dips and dives much better from this angle.
Absolutely.
Almost on cue.
Yes, very good. Did you call that?
something like that.
Okay, great. No, but that, and again, timeout because it's like we need to make an adjustment.
So let's take a look at the previous serve to give you an idea of the movement on the ball. In this angle, you see it much better than the side, and it just fell off the table.
It absolutely, and if you notice, there's no, that's a float serve, no spin on the ball, which, you know, the panel ball to help you find that a lot. They also help you find officials double contact, but not in this game.
Timeout called by Mount Vernon. This timeout presented in part by our friends at AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network group. Jordan Shue, Wes Wolf, Vincent Morelez in the truck, Josh Baker, Alex Laverne, and our favorite new freelancer, Alan Hughes, with us this evening. Thank you, everybody. We'll have one more Marian regular season matchup for you. We'll have their match on October the 26th, the last week of the regular season. An any and all conference tournament and NAIA regional match at the PE Center. We'll have those for you as well on ISC and Comcast 81. So Schaefer back to serve. It has been a fortuitous service rotation for the Knights. And again, that ball just dives after it crosses the net. Good back row swing by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Short ball for Norwood. Didn't hit it the way she wanted to. Blocking down, point Mount Vernon Nazarene.
A little late with the movement. She just kind of reached into the hole and hands hadn't penetrated the net yet.
Nemish gets the kill. Nemish third on the team in kills, coming in at 127. And now she will rotate out as Gracie Claxon will come into replace her. Big swing and good results. Point goes to Marian. Give the kill that time to Madison Brooks.
Again, that was, they were leaning towards Norwood, following her, but so the setter reversed it. And so there's one block and then a big seam because the middle block was late.
Here is Logan Smith. And Logan is a transfer from Jacksonville State. That's in Alabama at the Division I level. She is from Garrett. And Garrett has now produced some significant volleyball and basketball talent over the last couple of years. And that's a point for Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Again, they hit the ball to Skylar Van Note, the back row. So the offensive plan and defense and serve-receive plan is to just go after. If it goes 5, just fatigue her a little bit more.
Here's Reagan Nuss, and she is noteworthy for Mount Vernon Nazarene because she is the one Indiana native on the Cougars roster. Points, Mount Vernon Nazarene. Stumper gets the kill.
They're putting one blocker up. Marian's putting one blocker, so we watch this. There's just one, I thought it was a middle, and just hit right to on the right side of her right arm.
Nuss is from Brownstown, and she has a significant fan base here to watch her tonight.
Brownstown Central, state champion. She's also a setter throughout her high school career, was an all-star, Indiana all-star, but she's playing whatever the position they need. They need her at defense. She's taking it. That one misses wide. Point goes to Marian. Good substitution for Marian. Rotating out is Avery Toole. Emma Lyons will enter. One freshman replaces another. Emma from Dwenger High School in Fort Wayne. To the back row, and that one kind of gobbled up Galashevsky. Norwood, great dig. Set across for Van Note. 50-50 ball, Van Note there waiting. Bump set. And the tape unkind to Marian as Hunter's swing was sent wide. Point Cougars. It's just, I'm going to see the replay here because that's, their blocking assignments were a little bit different. Okay, so set a point off and cover the tip, so the tips will be open over the net right here. So they just pulled off just a bit.
Tang, the first service error of the match. Gives it right back to Marian. 4-point lead, Gianna Feld, junior from Grafton, Wisconsin. Set across. Big swing off the block and down. Point, Mount Vernon Nazarene killed a stumper.
That was a nice set. I mean, she's moving back, pushed the ball. Tempo was good. The location, setting its location. Tool off the block.
Here's Galashevsky. Tough serve. Short ball, Brooks swings around it. Another short ball, this one powered home by Marian. Give the kill to Jamison Summers, the sophomore from Louisville.
I mean, watch, she's up, she's quick arm, look at that, and pulls back to the hole. Hit around the block, arm was ready. That was a great shot.
Summers, 81 kills on the season coming into the match. Hardigree rotates back in. Again, free ball on the serve. Good answer on the block by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Down the line shot. Hardigree short ball, and again, both teams aren't trying to sky these sets. They're putting it right on the edge of the net. Point goes to Summers and Marian.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're trying to go middle a lot. Marian's game plan. It's kind of interesting, and see if they can still continue to do that with Norwood up there.
First service error committed by Marian. In a 4-point cushion to do it with at 14-10.
But neither teams, except for the serve, have been in rhythm yet. So when that happens, one team's going to, maybe have a 4-point run or something.
Marian hitting 304, Mount Vernon Nazarene 263. Short ball, Tang is there with the dig, 50-50 ball, and Skylar Van Noe with a volleyball version of the dunk.
Yes, and it's a point. Only 1 point, not 2, but still, a point's a point.
It feels just as good.
It does, doesn't it? As long as you don't hit the net.
For Van Note, her third kill. Pretty balanced attack so far from Marian. 4 players, 2 kills or more. Set across for Nuss. Big swing, but there wasn't a touch. That was simply an errant swing. 4th touch against Mount Vernon. Point goes to Marian.
Interesting. I can't recall when Mount Vernon's run a right side offense when they were in play. Of course, it helps when the setter's front, but at least back row attack from that right sideline.
Timeout called by Mount Vernon, their second timeout of the period. So with that, let's thank our friends at Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Overall impressions on what you're seeing from the Knights so far, Coach?
No one's in rhythm yet. And a scrappy team, like the coach said, they're going to be scrappy, Mount Vernon. Marian's not overpowering them with their offense yet. So part of it is it's a serve-receive game. So first contact, I think both sides can clean it up. And then when you get in rhythm, you're going to see hopefully Marian take off with it.
And Marian is doing this in terms of their successful season, in terms of kind of their continued stellar play in volleyball with an interim head coach. Riley Anderson has been an assistant the last 3 years for Ashley Pritchard. In fact, when Ashley had an addition to the family, Riley took
9 months? The baby's like 9 months
correct.
old? Seriously?
Riley won 16 matches as the head coach at Marian
gosh.
in 2019. So again, she's doing this as an interim head coach, even though this is her 4th year in the program.
Isn't she, full-time CPA?
Correct.
She makes pretty good money, I think.
Yes, she does.
Okay, good. But she's really good at this, though. You can impact kids' lives, coaching.
Van Note the serve. You asked for a right side ball, there you go. It's like you coached for all these years or something.
Well.
Off the slide, good looking swing. Galashevsky the dig. Cougars just a little out of sync. Short ball, big swing, good results. Point goes to Marian Madison Brooks, and that puts her at over 100 kills on the season.
Oh, wow. That's really great. I mean, it's kind of a fill in here. But the setter cut the ball. They had him blockers going the wrong way. Perfect reverse. But still, what a great healthy swing.
Big swing block is there. Off the block and down. Point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene. That's Nemish. Mount Vernon Nazarene, one of 2 non-Indiana schools here in the Crossroads League. Marian hosted the other on Saturday. Spring Arbor out of Michigan.
That's a nice place to visit, by the way, Spring Harbor.
That'll be just wide, off the tape and steered wide. So for the Knights, they'll rotate back in Sydney Schaefer. Jalen Norwood back in as well. One thing that hasn't changed under Riley's leadership is if you dress for Marian, good chance you're playing.
Yes, that's true.
They rotate players in and out.
Even though they have 35,000, I think, kids on the roster, players on the roster, they have a lot.
Tang, the swing, block is there, and ricochets all the way wide. And the point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Just a little bit better penetration on the block. If their hands are up and they're back and deflect it to the side, you can deflect deep if someone's hitting over the top of you, so you put your platform up a little bit. But I think they just didn't penetrate it.
Here's Claxon. Brooks again. There's been no answer for that swing for Marian.
No. I'm like, oh my gosh, she saw the smaller block, rotated, and let's see this again. Shoulder, thumb down, thumb away, hit that shot over the smaller blocker. That's really smart. And she's a sophomore. Holy smokes.
Here's Smith. One of 2 former Garrett Railroaders on the roster for Marian. Couldn't get the dig that time. Point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Just a little tip over the net. Right back. Sorry, couldn't see him. Just kind of delayed getting to the ball a little bit. But I'm interested with their blocking assignments because they're only putting 1 blocker right now on the outside.
Ashley Merrick rotates in from Mount Vernon Nazarene. Reagan Nuss to serve. Good looking swing by Hunter. Hunter from Hamilton Southeastern High School gets the kill.
That was okay. Nice healthy swing. Anyway, drive. She just saw the block, hit inside the seam. It's a point. Look at, they're all smiles right now.
Grace Hunter getting some more rotational time with Norwood's injury that she's back from now. Was there a touch there?
I did not see one.
Nope. Point goes to Marian. But also with the injury to Gabby Fish, Hunter is the player that's probably getting the most benefit from that.
Absolutely.
In terms of added time.
Not only benefit, she's benefiting the team by assuming a role that, Gabby Fish was playing very, very well. And so everything kind of shuffled. So all the players on Marian are picking up their game.
Big swing by Tang and Norwood. Goes over on 2. Mount Vernon tries to answer. Van Note, my goodness. What is the length from net to end line of a volleyball half court, coach? Put you on the spot. What's the length?
30 feet.
Okay, for 29 feet, I thought that ball was out.
No.
For the last feet, it was down.
Currents
Absolutely.
She knows the air currents in here. The ball just dropped. No, she knows this. Her volleyball IQ. I mean, she just knows court specifications.
Yeah, it's tough bump set there. Now that Rick Carlisle is back in town, I will use this quote more often.
Yes.
My favorite Rick Carlisle quote, when he compliments a basketball player and he says that player knows the geometry of the game.
Yes.
Skylar Van Note knows that about volleyball as well.
She has an engineering mind.
Tang on the serve. Short ball for Norwood, and just enough off the block to pull it down.
The timing between the setters and Norwood's not on right now, but you find a way to win and reach high. Find the move.
I'll use another famous coach from Indianapolis. Tony Dungy called Bob Sanders the eraser. Jalen Norwood can be the eraser for Marian.
Absolutely.
You put that ball in a 10-foot radius, she'll figure out a way to do something with it.
Yes.
And that was an errant swing, no block there. Point goes to Marian, and Marian has 10 set points.
Marian just chugging along, get the points. Not real, flashy at times, but just consistently wearing the opponents down.
Set across, big swing, great result.
Yes. Again, she sets, yes, I'm going to hear actually a little bit quicker tempo than she does the other ones here.
That was Stumper that got
Thank you so much.
another kill. You're welcome.
I can see Ashley.
Her third of the set.
but it's been the same type, quick to the pin, and she's just got a real quick arm swing.
Hunter finds the floor. Point and set go to Marian, and that is the end of that. Impressive by the Knights, 25-15. They take set number 1. We'll take this quick timeout. Set number 2 comes your way next. Crossroads League volleyball action as we hit the final month of the regular season. Knights in command early at 25-15. Back after this on ISC and Comcast 81.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
So Marian off to a solid start. They take set number 1 by a score of 25-15. Tonight's match is presented in part by BSN. Thank you to BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics. Pretty easy conversation from the Marian perspective. Do more of the same. From Mount Vernon Nazarene's perspective, what has to change in set 2?
They have to receive serve. I mean, that really put them in a little funk here. So first of all, contact on serve receive is going to be vital. I like the quickness to the pin. Maybe vary their offensive, who they set. They're very consistent with who they set and where they set. So mix it up a little bit. That's probably what the coach is saying. Just mix it up. We believe.
Marian hit 371 in set number 1. Mount Vernon Nazarene hit 200.
Wow.
16 kills to 11, the difference. 5 attacking errors for Mount Vernon Nazarene. 3 for Marian. Skylar Van Note hitting 375. She's got a team-high 4 kills. Abby Nemish hitting 429, a team-high 4 kills for Mount Vernon Nazarene.
How many service aces?
That would be 2 for Marian and 0 for Mount Vernon Nazarene. On the floor for the Knights, Norwood, Van Note, Hunter, Lyons, Jamison Summers, Smith will be the setter. Gianna Feld, the libero for Marian. And always forget when we come here how much the players enjoy seeing themselves on the video board here inside of the arena.
They're on TV.
We forget
yes.
They're like 18 to 23 years old. You know?
Exactly. And there are high schools that have the same opportunity right now. It's like, oh my goodness.
For Mount Vernon Nazarene, Galashevsky, Paige Brunner, Erica Gosser, Reagan Nuss, Ashley Stumperth, and Jalen Tang. The 6 players on the floor for the Cougars. R1 and R2 making sure all the rotations are set. And Marian will drop back to serve. Emma Lyons will have the honors.
It'll be interesting to see if the air currents are different since that side has a little bit more seats.
Set across for Tang. Block is there waiting. Nope, no block. It was net. 4th touch, point Marian.
Vernon's not, I thought they might come out a little bit more aggressive. They are a team is scrapping, a team with emotion is what the coach said. So
short ball, block there waiting. Set across to Van Note. Runner. Back row swing block and Norwood waiting. Free ball, Norwood waiting again. Tough shot.
And Norwood went, my bad, I didn't jump. She would have had it hit low to the net.
It was Stumperth that made the swing.
I think back row was thinking that she's going to have a block. But
here's Nuss. Set across. Van Note off the block and down.
Inside the block. She must have eyes just where the ball is. Thumb down. Okay, if we watch here, see the block set up. Boom, just inside that middle blocker's left hand.
In Delaware County, you play this sport from birth on, and hence
I think they come out with the volleyball.
She's got that
setting
covered.
Technique.
Tang on the swing block there waiting. Couldn't control that one. Smith couldn't steer it. Another back row kill for Mount Vernon Nazarene and Ashley Stumperth.
It looks like that's what Mount Vernon might be doing is putting more hitters in out of the middle position. So you can hit middle and then back row, and then of course they've been going to the pins a lot. Especially the left pin, the outside hitter, left side hitter.
Here's Tang. Big swing by Hunter. Nuss was there to cover it. Stumperth got it.
That's a nice swing. She's been watching Skylar Van Note.
She has all 3 points earned so far for the Cougars here in the set. Van Note. Big swing. There's a touch there, point Cougars.
I think they've seen this, Mount Vernon has seen this in their film. They had 3 people waiting for Skylar Van Note in the middle, 3 blockers within the shoulder.
The second time these two have played this year, and there could easily be a third in the conference tournament. Top 8 teams make the league quarterfinals. Going over on 2. Marian had it covered. Van Note. Feld. Off the slide. Hadn't seen much of that tonight. Again, Van Note. Free ball here. Hanging in midair that time was Marian. The block off and wide. A point, Mount Vernon Nazarene.
They are moving their offense around Mount Vernon, doing things a little bit different. And they're also staying in some plays a little bit. But their serve receive has not been an issue so far. Hence the lead 5-2.
Block there waiting. Hunter tried to tip it up and over the block, and Marian going to use their first time out of the match after really having no problem in set number 1. Now 4 points down, 8 points in set number 2. Again, we'll keep it right here. Just remind your fans that joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/M Club. Well, this is the midweek match for Marian. After tonight, they actually have a little time off.
And volleyball?
Which is rare. They do not play again until next Wednesday when they go to Huntington.
No weekend tournament?
Then don't play until the following Wednesday at Goshen. And then business picks back up with a stretch of 5 matches in 10 days to finish the season.
That is actually kind of good to schedule that way because the bodies are kind of sore right now. Give them a little time to heal, change some things, and then get back and finish the season on a strong note.
Marian won in straight sets against Spring Arbor on Saturday, 11, 19, and 22. They lost at Taylor on Friday night in 4 sets, 4 very closely contested sets.
10 points, 4 sets.
Another Marian miscue gives the free point to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Greg, I'm going to say this side of the court is the bad side of the court. And yes, that does happen in gyms.
Big swing by Hunter. Nuss was there waiting. Stumperth off the hands and down.
Marian typically has really good blockers. The blocking system's been working for them, but not tonight. I'm not sure if the arm action is a little bit slower from Mount Vernon, or they're just getting used a lot.
Van Note steers it around the blockers. Nuss had the coverage. Again, setting Van Note. A little frustration taken out of that swing.
You think? Set me outside. And I think she's saying, stop serving to me. They're doing so on purpose. It'll be interesting to see how many receptions she has tonight.
Runner. Big swing, great dig. Set across for Van Note. Off the block and down. Back-to-back points for Marian.
Again, how did you know that the blocker's releasing, slow my arm swings down, and I'm going to tool you? Playing 5 years.
Years of experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosser, good read.
Yep.
Ball led her to that point, but went with the pass and stops the Marian run at 2.
Mount Vernon middles, I think, are while they're scoring more points on their outside. They're just being smart, tooling the block, using the block.
Galashevsky, too much on that one.
You have to be careful sometimes when you just bend over and it's serving, especially when the currents go. I've seen it hit the rear end of the pass. That's embarrassing. Coach is going to watch that replay.
Here's Van Note. Set across. Double block there waiting. Good dig. Van Note with the coverage. Feld.
Whoa.
Not the best of passes. Tough ball. How about that for Gianna Feld?
Oh my gosh, that was wonderful. You know, and that's what players are going to remember. They're going to remember that play that's totally out of system, chaotic, and I just set it where they're not.
Is there a special set for bro kills? She just had one. As in the libero gets the put away.
Well, yes, you can. If it goes over and it scores a point, yes.
There you go. Van Note. Aaron swing by Mount Vernon Nazarene, and all of a sudden, what was a 6-point lead is now 2.
That's why we play the game. It's the momentum. And Marian's picking up their play a little bit. Their blocking is a little bit crisper. The footwork's a little bit better.
Couldn't do anything with that, good Feld.
It hit right between the seam. If you see it again, you'll see there's a big hole in the block. It should just turn and hit straight line.
That was Nemish. Nemish came in 3rd on the team in kills for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Here's Brenner. One of 4 seniors that sees a lot of playing time for the Cougars. Big shot. Tang had it covered. Nuss blocked there waiting. And that's too much on that one.
But again, the blocking's better for Marian. The movement, the defense is lining up a little bit better around the block. And I'm noticing that Mount Vernon, basically, they have no one deep line. They're just, you tip on us, we're going to cover the tips. You have to hit deep and hard.
Here's Norwood. Norwood rotates in. Schaefer on the serve, I should say. There's Norwood. And doing Norwood level things. Great effort by Brenner, but Marian's back within a point.
I'm in the air to set the ball to me. Here we go. Ready? I'm in. There you go. Just give me the ball. So that was a good combination between setter and hitter. And again, the timing if she's been out, not able to practice, that's going to be an issue, but it looks like they're cleaning it up a little bit.
Block is there, and all of a sudden tied at 10. So after an 8-2 start, an 8-2 answer by Marian to level us at 10.
Good timing, good penetration, right hand turn to the middle of the court. That was very nice.
This timeout presented by IMCU, proud to support Marian University and offering a free Marian Knights debit card with a free checking account. Get your Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Membership savings required, federally insured by the NCUA.
Interesting, the coach is talking to Brooks a lot, and then Norwood. So they might be either combination or the blocking assignment. Here's what we need you to do.
Both teams now have used a timeout here in this second set. Schaefer, Hardigree, Brooks, Norwood, Toole, and Van Noot. The 6 on the floor, and almost every position rotates for Marian with one exception. Skylar Van Noot.
You think?
She's a 6 rotation player. If they had 7, she'd be in that one too.
Well, she is the 0-1, and many times the 0-1 it stays in. It's a little bit different. Mount Vernon's 0-1 comes out of the back row, and their 0-2 is in the entire time.
But you got it for Marian. They recover. And Toole, how about that? Well, I keep making references to other sports. We would call that in baseball a line drive in the box score. Wasn't exactly great first or second touch. Phenomenal third strike, point Marian.
But that's just team play. Look, they're all kind of like, okay, I got this, we got this, and so that's what you like to see. It's no one's like yelling at each other or anything. They're all kind of enjoying their moment. I was stupid, so.
And when you have such a track record of success as this program has had.
I think the success comes when you have quality people in the program like Marian does.
Off the block and down. Nemish.
Looks like Norwood just a little bit slow with the hands closing it, penetrating the net. I mean, she's up in the air so long, you know.
That's territory I am unfamiliar with, Coach.
I'm on a ladder, I can feel it.
Toole, nice shot. Free ball, here we go. Good block by Norwood. Chicken wing by a player, kept it alive for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Good diagonal ball from Brooks. Another fantastic back row swing. We've seen that before for Stumperth.
And absolutely, in fact, you know, Norwood went to release to the right side player, and so she had no one at the net, whole court to hit to.
Here's Norwood. Quick ball for Norwood. And the back row player was thinking fastball and got the changeup.
Oh my, we're doing so many sports here tonight.
You
the
like
changeup,
that?
yes, I do. And she was like, nope, okay, throw it back to the corner.
Norwood, if you ask her how her college experience goes, she can say, well, I've been a national champ in multiple sports.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that at the collegiate level. Can you imagine doing that?
Toole. Good swing by Nuss. Ball's going to go over. Feld takes care of that. Toole a little aggressive that time. And the point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
As soon as she hit it, she went, oh no, no. But it was open, not middle back necessarily, but the deep corners are open for Mount Vernon.
Claxon to serve. And that will be a little too long. Fourth service error in 2 sets so far for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Mount Vernon Nazarene has played 9 in this match. Marian has rotated through 11 players so far. That's about what we expected. Lions. Gosser, nice swing. Her 4th kill.
Right through the seam, right through the blocker's hands. They're both there. Just aggressively went through. Doesn't seem as Marian serving as aggressively as they did in the first set.
So Nussel drop back to serve. Hunter blocked there waiting. And a kill. Gosser got it again.
Gosser's doing some with her blocking, seeing the ball. I mean, that's great penetration with the right hand. And what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Let's hit the sidelines.
Mount Vernon Nazarene kind of has now survived that first Marian wave of the half. Van Note with her 8th kill of the match.
You need a side out. Set Van Note.
Here's Feld. Set across for Tang. Block there waiting. Point Marian. Again, that was into the net, not off the hands.
But the block was there.
Yep.
It was a good block. I didn't see the defense lined around it here.
Here's Feld. Tough shot, ace.
There you go.
Ace number 3 for the Knights, first of this set.
Bro did have some trouble with the short serves in front and the deep ones, toward shoulders. So
both aces last set belonged to Schaefer for Marian. 3 in a row for the Knights. Couldn't get there. Good change of pace by the Cougars.
Okay, they found the campfire. Hole in the middle. And the defense, they're lined up in perimeter, Marian is. Where Mount Vernon, a lot of the people are short on the line to cover that tip and roll.
It is campfire season.
That's true, but be careful.
Van Note. Net contact made. Point. Free point given to Marian.
Okay. But when Van Note hits middle, she always has 3 blockers on her.
Here's Hardigree. Talking about the split that she and Smith have in terms of playing time. Hardigree 12 assists tonight, Smith with 9 so far. Gosser, another big swing. And
okay. Better communication might stop that. If there wasn't a trust thing, I'm going to have it. But again, communicate. You should be able to hear who's taking the ball. Mine, call it.
Yeah, Hardigree immediately recognized that, made the mistake there.
Yep.
Galashevsky. Van Note. Options aplenty for Hardigree that time, and she picked the right one.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Serve me. Okay, I'm going to make you pay. Drop that thumb. Watch. Drop the thumb. Boom. Shoulder drop. Sideline. How can she get so close to the sidelines? What did you say?
Started playing from birth.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Set across. Big swing. Van Note can do anything with that one. Stumperth the kill, her 10th.
Quick to the outside, quick to the pin, beat the block. And no, just need to hold her platform a little bit longer.
Brenner on the serve.
Whoops.
Tool. And that wasn't going to go over anyway, but
yes.
That was a double hit by Nuss.
It's a good effort. I mean, she's a setter, and she's hitting right now. I see her in the front line blocking and hitting. You just gotta love that. She's an Indiana kid. So.
Has 10 digs, as does Galachevsky for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Diagonal ball that one of the rare mishits that Stumperth has had all night. She's hitting 300, but picked the wrong time to have a bad swing because now Marian is inching close to the finish line in set number 2.
Get the 22. Get the 22, you have a higher chance of winning.
Schaefer, the tape friendly to the home team. Tool. Good job by Brooks to get a piece of that. And Nuss trying to steer it down the line, and we're going to see a timeout. Yep, coming from Mount Vernon Nazarene. They'll burn their second timeout of the set, with Marian 4 points away from the finish line. This timeout presented by our friends at Ray's Trash, proud partner of Marian University. 317-539-2024 or online at raystrash.com. What's going to be the key to getting over the hump for either team here in set number 2, Coach?
Well, I like what Mount Vernon's doing because they're changing the offense a little bit. Their ball control is better, but I'm not sure that Marian's put as much service pressure on them. Again, Mount Vernon serving Skylar Van Note, and she's like, come on, bring it. I think for Marian, again, put more service pressure on. Their blocking is much better this set. So just continue with the good hand, first of all, the footwork, and then the hands penetrating the net at the right time. So
neither team is hitting what they did in the previous set. Mount Vernon Nazarene hitting 156, Marian hitting 235. Whoa. Knight still hitting over 300 for the match. Those numbers were 200 and 375 respectively after set number 1.
Mount Vernon was a little bit more, they had a little bit more of a blocking presence the second set, or this set, excuse me.
Here's Schaefer. Little conversation between Brenner on R1. Any idea what this conversation might be about?
They had coaches talking about doubles. Sometimes, I guess in Ohio they call doubles a little bit closer where the ball, you can see the panel where it comes out spinning.
Sure.
And I know the coach I saw her animated with some of them, like, why didn't you call that? So, but respectfully, here's what we're going to be calling. And that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
Look, okay, we got it.
So player and coach conversation continues. R2 kind of nods, said, okay, here we go.
Coach is like, whatever. Coach is like, oh, okay, that, just so you know.
Well, Schaefer's been sitting back ready to serve for a while.
The down official did not, the R2 did not signal how many timeouts they had taken. Or excuse me, yet they had taken, excuse me.
Block is there, free ball, and Norwood keeps it alive. Diving effort, ball still in play. Brooks, too much.
But that was a great play. They reversed the action. The blockers are all going to that, block the outside here. Okay, so we watch. Reverse, look, the block's really not there. If she had dropped her shoulder and hit line, it was completely open.
Stumperth. Good recovery by Norwood. Short ball, but put away by Nemish.
Okay. She hit, really, what she hit, the block was up, she hit to the left of Norwood's block.
Mount Vernon Nazarene has wiped away 2 points with his 3-point advantage. Brooks, no doubt about that.
Again, the deep line is open, and the blockers are taking her angle away, so that's an open shot.
For Brooks, her 4th kill. She's hitting 300 so far in the match. Smith rotates in, replacing Hardigree. Off the block and down, big swing by Tang.
So see the block. Again, just a smart shot. Thumb up, find the hands, go to the outside blocker's hand. If they don't penetrate in, you're supposed to put the outside hand back to the middle of the court to deflect the balls that way.
Claxon to serve. Norwood. Doesn't need much.
hanging in the air.
So again, we referenced multiple champions in different sports. She was the triple jump champ in the NAIA last spring.
Yes.
She was a freshman on the national championship volleyball team in 2019.
Yes.
I
think she has some ring closets here. You know how many rings she has? She's probably going to need a whole.
She has a Liberace level of rings.
Yes, that's true.
23-21. Good job by Brenner to do with that what she could. Norwood. Van Noot puts that away, and 3 set points awaits for the Knights.
Again, Norwood went to the outside, and that was like a swing, and then the outside hitter, Van Noot swung in, dropped her left shoulder, and hit back to that line. She likes the sidelines.
Short ball for Gosser. Norwood winning. Marian comes from behind. They trailed 8-2 to start the set. They claim it 25-21. We'll look for the sweep in 3 when we come back. Looking to run their record to 9-2 in Crossroads League play of the Knights. See if they can do it as you're watching Marian University Volleyball here on ISC and Comcast 81.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
What's better than 100 pieces of pepperoni? How about 150 pieces of Donato's crispy pepperoni? Yep, the Pep 150 is back with more of what you love, piled edge to edge on that golden thin crust. It's pepperoni topped with pepperoni and more bang for your pepperoni buck. Now get a large Pep 150 for just $1 more than a large pepperoni pizza. Donato's, every piece is important.
This is the Pepsi for America's Best Barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Marian sprinted to the finish line, winning the last 3 points of set number 2. Norwood with a kill, Van Noot with another one. And the Norwood waiting on the block to wrap things up for Marian. What was the difference in set number 2?
Set number 2, the blocking improved for Marian. I think that was a key element of it, because those other shots, the backcourt wasn't ready to play it. I think that was the difference in that one rotation where you had Van Noot and Norwood in the front line. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That's just crazy here. And then oh my gosh, Maddie Johnson. No, right side. Stumper. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But doing a great job, swinging on the outside. Okay. I'm just watching the game, not looking at the names here, kid. I'm excited to watch this. This is good volleyball.
Knights take to the floor. Cougars will be quick to follow up. The Knights match presented in part by our friends in the Shalos Corporation. From ground-up building projects to around-the-clock emergency security services, no one answers your prayers or the phones quicker than Michaelis. Call 844-FIX-INDY.
Okay, so Marian's back on the good serving side. Because seriously, I really think that we need like a, I don't know, engineer or something in here to look, because the bleachers are much taller. That side's more open.
Correct.
If the air currents just kind of drop, Worthing Arena is one facility.
Correct.
There's a good side and a
Ball
bad
State,
side.
Yep.
Yes.
Where the state championships are played for Indiana high school volleyball.
Yes. Good side, bad side. I won't tell you what side.
I'll file that away for 4 weeks from now for the
Yes.
State Finals. Van Note, Norwood, Summers, Smith, Lyons, Hunter. The 6 on the floor. Feld will come in to replace one of those when activity gets underway. Nemish, Stumperth, Nuss, Brenner, Gosser, Tang, and Galashevsky, the libero. Will rotate through here for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Cougars trying to claim their first set in 6 tries against Marian. And the NAIA volleyball tournament takes 48 teams. Crossroads League has 3 teams in the top 17 this week and 2 teams receiving votes. Well, I think it's fair to say that 4, maybe 5 could qualify to the Crossroads League.
That'd be exciting.
How those teams fare against each other over these last 10 matches obviously will make a world of difference.
All right, let's see if the Brogue gets us serving.
Galashevsky will lead things off. Smith for Van Note. She'll find every angle and she'll invent some more. Point
oh
goes to Marian.
She sees the block. She's one of those players that just feels the game. There's the block. Go in here, go low, hit that sideline.
Here's Feld to serve. Tough serve. Nuss may have played an out ball. Short ball. Summers the swing. Now Hunter. Going over on 2 and right idea, just steered it a bit wide. Point Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Just missed. Look at, she was like, oh my gosh, I set it out. So Logan is going to be open. Just take some notes from Skylar Van Note.
And Van Note can't play it a second time.
She probably could, but it'd be illegal. Again, their game plan, let's serve her. Get her tired, serve her deep.
And the ball finds Van Note. Gosser throws to the back corner and Lyons couldn't track it down.
She is good. I mean, she's seeing the court, deep corner. She has more than just one shot. And I like her blocking as well.
Gosser second on the team in kills with 220 coming in. Team leader in blocks. Van Note. Been there, done that.
One note about Gosser, after talking to the coach, she was injured last season and didn't play. And it's just this past week that she's just starting to get into the seam of playing, to get in the rhythm of playing. Not bad for a kid that had to sit out last year.
That is a significant knee brace or leg brace that she is wearing out there while playing, so that's certainly of note. Block is there waiting on her, and Galashevsky sprays it. Point goes to the Knights.
She'd back into the block. If she dropped her left shoulder, she would have that Marian's left sideline open.
Here's Hardigree, the junior from Brownsburg. Tough serve.
Yes.
Another ace.
It is that side of the court.
That is ace number 4 for Marian. Runner. Off the slide, Brooks the coverage, Summers elevates it. Going over on 2, Lyons is there. There's Brooks, and tough shots. She joined the 100 kill club for the year. 4 different Marian players have gotten there. Van Note, Norwood, and the injured Gabby Fish, part of that group. And
Gabby Fish got it early, didn't she? And the knee injury didn't happen. It happened a couple weeks ago, so. But she's doing incredible things. I like how the setter's just moving the offense around.
Merrick in there. Free ball for Marian. Summers cashes in.
Is that the dunk shot? But
Threw
no
it down.
net. Yeah, threw it down. No net. Legal. Just find the open court. Just put it down.
Tang. Fell. Brooks. Going over on 2. Hardigree keeps it alive. That's a heck of a bump set there by Feld.
That was nice. That was. So they're picking up the setters are going. Mount Vernon going, on 2 a lot more just because Marian's kind of up in the court, ready for coverage, spike coverage, and so they're just throwing the ball deep, and they're sliding into a huddle. But Marian's making some great adjustments.
Kendra Mosier will call the timeout. Worry about her team kind of losing touch here at 7-3 in set number 3.
Notice the servers, they're serving Mount Vernon's bro, but they're serving her short. And
Yeah.
the next one, they're trying to serve her deep because she does make adjustments. And when you should, if you're serving short, you move up. So the next one, I'm going to go into your head in a respectful way.
Without malice.
Absolutely.
Reminder fans, you can get all the up-to-date information on Marian University Athletics at MUKnights.com and follow on Twitter at MUKnights. That's MUKnights. Big weekend. They always are. They're the Marian University campus from an athletic standpoint. But Marian and Indiana Wesleyan, they have become rivals in every sport, and that now extends to football as well, with Indiana Wesleyan offering the sport in the last 5 to 6 years. And as we all expected, they have gotten good at it quickly. So Marian and IWU, both nationally ranked, we'll have that for you on ISC and Comcast 81 Saturday night at 6 o'clock from St. Vincent Field.
You know what's going to be interesting in a few years? Marian, UND, West, all these schools having men's volleyball. Fastest growing sport in the country at the collegiate level for men.
Tang with the swing. Feld is there. Brooks works around it. Van Notes. Block waiting.
Whoa.
Point Marian. Well, to your point about men's college volleyball, what has been unique about this state is that there have been a pair of Division I programs that have played it for many years.
Yes.
On the men's side, Ball State, who made the national finals last year, lost to Hawaii, and then also Purdue-Fort Wayne.
Actually, there are 8 colleges in Indiana with men's volleyball. Many of them are smaller. St. Mary the Woods has men's volleyball.
Back row swing. Set across for Van Note. And the changer steps in mid-swing. Great dig. Brooks off the block and down. Up at St. Mary the Woods, they of course kind of new to the NAIA level. They're in one of the other leagues that has teams from the state of Indiana, the NAIA, the River States Conference.
I did not know that.
We aim to educate and inform on this program. Hardigree looking to the back corner. Got some new players in there for Mount Vernon Nazarene, trying to switch things up a little bit. That's Grace Green, really her first swing, and nets it. The tail spin continues for the Cougars.
And again, this is a tough rotation for anyone where the front line is almost all stacked left.
Off the slide, Gosser.
Okay, that'll work. Make the middle blocker go to one of the pins.
That ends a 9-0 scoring run by Marian.
Wow.
So Green will rotate out, Tang will rotate back in. Hardigree. Good read by Van Note. And the put away.
That was beautiful. It's like they can just feel each other. Like, this is open, I'm go here. They're picking up the tips and rolls a lot better this set than they did the first set.
At this point, you're not going to show something to Van Note that she hasn't seen at this level.
That's true.
Having played so many matches.
Absolutely.
Gosser. Summers. Block steered wide. Point Marian.
That was a great combination play. Just didn't penetrate with the hands good enough.
To give you an idea in terms of the experience of Skylar Van Note, this is the 515th set she has played in college volleyball.
Oh my goodness.
That's what 5 years will do for you. Great effort by Galashevsky. Big swing, and Karam's off the block.
It's like set Maddie time.
You know, the numbers that Van Note has for a career are staggering. But what is, also of you mentioned is that this has been such kind of an equal opportunity program at Marian, where she's had obviously other great talent around her, but it's not like she is constantly fed the ball every time offensively. There's a good shot there by the Cougars to get a hard-earned point.
Well, Coach Anderson, I'm going to go. We're going to have to rely on other. Someone keys on Van Note that the best blockers, the rotations just to stop her. We're going to run a right side offense.
Tool. Not much that Marian can do with that. Van Note couldn't control it off the floor. Back-to-back points for the Cougars.
Okay, let's see who they serve. My guess is number 7.
See the immediate reaction by Van Note. It's going, I'm not sure what happened there.
Look, everyone's like, okay, we're going to watch that game film that clip over and over. It might be on your senior tribute when you had the banquet or something.
As long as you win this one in 3, you can laugh about that. See if there might be a rotation error here.
They were out of rotation,
yep.
The wrong server.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, it was a 3-point run for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Gets ended on a rotation error.
Lose the points.
Matt Holmes handling the stats tonight. Gentleman crossing his arms there. Working this NAIA match. Works for the NCAA on a full-time basis here in Indianapolis. And just happens to be the man that when I can't do UIndy football, does them for us on the ISC Sports Network.
You have friends everywhere.
Hang around long enough, you know everybody. So, to your point, you stop, instead of 3 points, it's 1 for Mount Vernon. So they get dialed back to 5. Marian gets a bonus point.
Absolutely.
14-5 our score.
Frustration. Just frustration on Mount Vernon's side.
Assuming this score doesn't reverse here in set number 3. For Mount Vernon now, you think about on the bus ride back to Central Ohio. Okay, you aspire to get back to Marian one more time this year. What do you take away from tonight and say, okay, this is what has to change next time you see him?
Well, they just got a block.
Yep.
So they stayed in the play. I think their serve receive is still not where it should be for a team that's not very tall. You said they had 1 player over 6 foot.
Correct.
Height does help. You can't teach height. So
right.
In the 5th set,
that's not changing during the season.
6'3".
Runner on the serve. Norwood, you can't teach that. Point goes to Marian, 16-6.
I wish I could buy that when I was younger. Oh, wait, I didn't have any money anyway. But just, she's so athletic. And that's one thing that I think young people need to hear. You don't have to go D1 to have your dreams come true. And really, you choose college for a 45-year plan. What type of career am I going to have out of it?
For Smith to serve. Nuss, fourth touch.
Tried to hit inside, didn't clear the net enough.
Seems a matter of time at this juncture at 17-6.
Mount Vernon was down 11-7 in the fifth set. They were down 12-9 in the fifth set and still came back and won like 17-15 or 18 something. So it is possible. You just have to play error-free.
There's Stumpert. Team high 12 kills tonight. Van Note leads both teams with 14. Norwood adds to her total. That's 8 for her.
8. And she was injured and off for 4 matches.
We, Frank, are a little surprised that she's playing like that. We kind of thought that it might be a little more time, but no time like the present to return one of your best players.
Absolutely.
That's going to be back row attack, going to be the call.
Right. If part of the ball crosses the net and the setter's touching it, it's back row.
Set across for Tang. Norwood. Again, on her way down, pass behind her, still gets the kill.
You know, airtime. You know, I guess she's in a helicopter. You know, most of us are in a little low-flying, not even a jet, and she's like, okay.
Madison Johnson will enter. Also Chloe Peters. A chance to just get some players some little run here tonight. That ball kept alive. Van Note off the block and eventually point won by Marian. Jessica Bach in there as well for Mount Vernon Nazarene. So we're now to the point of if you made the bus trip, you get to play in the match.
And I think that's perfect. Let's see what they can do. And to rest some of these, you know, there's the starters right now.
Yep.
They only play 8, Mount Vernon does, 8 players, typically.
Mount Vernon Nazarene in a tie for 5th in the league coming in. And Marian tied with Taylor for 1st. The kill goes to the Cougars.
Then I got it.
Gosser will come back in.
Norwood just kind of put her hands too close to the seam instead of taking out that low shot.
Here's Galashevsky. Feld. And Norwood. Gosser.
Wow.
Kind of the important lines of demarcation in terms of the conference tournament. Top 4 get to host 1 round. Top 2 get to host the semifinals in theory. The number 1 seed, you know you're not traveling.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Not to travel. Home crowd.
Point goes to Marian. They're 3 away.
Grace had a nice swing that way. I mean, she's another one. I don't know what it's in the water here or something, but all their players have really good, you know, volleyball court awareness.
Here's Feld. Block there, but spins it off of it. Point to Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Yep. But it really almost put the thumb up. They used to teach us. We'll have to see what they're teaching on the swing blocking here. I taught setters and defense. Coach Lau did the blockers, so they would just always penetrate back to zone 6.
Here's Nuss.
The kid from Indiana, state champion.
Good swing by Hunter. Going over on 2 and point Mount Vernon Nazarene. Gives them more of a chance to talk about Nuss. Again, she's from Brownstown Central. They had been up in 3A the last few years, and they won the 3A title 3 years ago. Brownstown enrollment-wise has dropped back to 2A this year, and they're one of the favorites with the 2A championship this year. Van Note and Nuss did a great job just to make sure she can hit in the face on that one. Got her hands up in time.
Actually, her coach is also her aunt.
Who was here at the match tonight.
Of course.
So 23-11. Now Brownstown is blessed to have some wonderful coaches.
They are.
Reed May in football winning percentage over 800. Dave Benner, his son Jack is going to play at Purdue in a couple of years. Point goes to Mount Vernon Nazarene. 23-12.
One thing, they're not quitting. And that says a lot about the kids. I've watched enough volleyball games where, well, they're double digits, I'm going to just mail it in. They're still fighting out there.
Hard agreed. All she could do was go over on 2 there. 2 players collide on the dig attempt. Another point for Mount Vernon Nazarene. You're about, 4 or 5 points away from getting nervous at this point if you're Marian.
Nervous? I don't know if I have ever seen them nervous.
Van Note, no nerves there, and you'll need more than just your fingers to count match points here for Marian. 11. Trying to win this one in 3, and frankly have 2 of the sets be ones where they barely broke a sweat. And again, this is against a team who came in 19-4.
Not over yet. It's getting close, but it's not over yet.
Block is there. Block there again. Going over on 2, and why not? Ended on that note right there, and meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Marian wins this one in 3, and they take the third, 25-13. Take a look at the rally on the final point. Coach, your final thoughts on this one?
I always love how one setter dumps, they're always going to have like a bunch of setters. Marian, the blocking got better. They're serving, their game plan on their serving work to perfection. They play a lot of players, so if another one goes down, I hope that doesn't happen. But they're one of the teams that's ready, and they're just finding ways to win, which is always good.
Some of the final stats: 351 for Marian was their hitting percentage tonight. $178 for Mount Vernon Nazarene, as these 2 teams will share a word of prayer at the end of the match. Individual notes in terms of stats: Ashley Stumper, 13 kills. Erica Gosser with 12 for Mount Vernon Nazarene. And Skylar Van Note with 17. Jalen Norwood with 10 to lead the way for the Marian University Knights this evening. Marian bumps up their record on the season. Again, came in at 16-2, now 17-2. Most importantly, 9-2 in league play. But they will, again, at worst, have a share of the league lead with Taylor at the end of the night. The next time our ISC Sports Network cameras are here on the Marian University campus will be just 3 nights from now. We'll be here for Marian and Indiana Wesleyan. We'll get 2 teams that have aspirations, not just towards making the playoffs, but potentially a national championship in football. Make sure you join Scott McCauley and Zach Graves then. That is at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Good night from Marian. Thanks for joining us for college volleyball on the ISC Sports Network.
Who's got time for hot dogs and disco music? Your mind's cluttered with thoughts of commercial waste removal. So thank the good Lord above for Ray's Trash. Ray's will collect the intolerable rubbish at all your company's locations up to 6 times a week. That's 42 times in dog weeks. They shred documents and recycle too. And Ray's has roll-off containers for big loads, like construction waste or when your giant dies. Got a business? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
raystrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 2.99% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.